What's up, everybody, and welcome to issue 17 of Geek Pop Podcast. With me is Josh.
What's going on, everybody?
Josh, I have something important to tell you right from the get-go.
Is it that you legitimately hate me?
You know that. I don't need to tell you that on tape because you just know.
Yeah, because that's been happening for days.
Days, weeks, months, years.
Yeah, our lifetimes.
Lifetimes apart and together.
What?
It's just too much.
Our time together is too much.
Yeah, this is going to be a long hour.
It always is. You know what? That's what I try to bring to the table. I try to make it last as long as possible for you. I don't want you to forget me.
If only girls you could do that for. I feel like you would be a man amongst men.
Oh, well, that's the secret, right? That's the trick. I need to make my time with girls last longer and not my time with guys last longer.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Flip that.
Josh, but this is really important. We really gotta get this out.
All right, lay it on me.
All right, Josh.
Put it on
every
Front
60
Street.
seconds. Shut up! I'm trying to teach you something.
I'm spitting mad game over here. Tell me something.
All right. Every 60 seconds
Uh-huh.
in the United States,
Yeah.
a minute passes. Together we can stop this, Josh.
Yeah. How are we gonna fight this?
Help us spread this message from Geek Pop.
I think we should do the 60-second challenge.
What does that entail?
It's where you play a song backwards and you dance for 60 seconds, and it's like you reverse time.
It's like the closest thing you can do with not being Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
Flying around reverse.
I can't fly around the planet in reverse, but if we all together play songs backwards, the reverse momentum of our MP3s maybe will slowly turn the planet.
Maybe. I can only hope so.
Yeah. If we can fight the 60-second plague that's spreading across this nation, Toby, that's what we're really looking for here.
That's, it only took us 17 weeks. We've knocked down our cause.
Do your
we have a mission.
part.
We have a mission statement now.
Do your part. That's all we ask.
Yeah, just, do what you gotta do.
Only you can prevent time passing.
That sounds like the most pro-suicide thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Well, now you took it to a dark place.
Only you can stop your time from going on.
Now everything I said before is going to get cast in the wrong light. Do your part. That just sounds even worse now. Don't kill yourself.
Then we'll be down like 10% of our listener base, and that would be bad.
Yeah, you all, I don't know if you guys know this, account for like a good 15%. So
every one of you is like 15%.
Yeah.
Somehow.
We're all in this together, literally, because it's a small boat, and we all fit.
Josh, so you already know the big news because I've been fucking rambling on about it all week. But it's time for the world to know, Josh.
Toby grew a hair again.
That is impossible.
What's the big news, Toby? Share it with the world.
Josh, I finally got the fuck out of my job.
You did. Toby is now jobless and soon to be homeless. So, congratulations.
Yay! But I'm now in the apparently slow as fuck rotation process of getting out of one job and getting into another.
Yeah, moving.
Which is led by probably two of the worst recruiters I've ever had in my entire life.
Well, don't say that because you're moving to this new job. They're the best people you've ever met, just in general.
They are very helpful to get me in the job. And now that I need their help to finalize the job, they don't know what the fuck's going on. And it's very frustrating.
I don't think those two people have ever done anything wrong in their entire life. I'm sure that they're very funny, probably really personable. I'm sure they are. These are the things you need to be telling them before you get the job. Like, like you need to be like playing them up.
I'm not do shit for them.
Give it like 2 months. You've been in the job. You're like you settled in. Like all the shine's wore off. Then you can start hating everyone there. But like I feel like you can't do it before you get there.
Well, no, it's two separate things because it's recruiters. So the recruiters don't work for where I'm going to work.
Oh,
for.
these are independent recruiters
they're independent and they're making me mad almost every time I talk to them because they're doing the one fucking thing that I can't stand ever, and that's they have to play 20 questions with them.
Yeah,
I say like.
Also, I want to pause real quick. You said independent, and I was everything I could do to not sing Destiny's Child right then. All the women, independent.
Josh, throw your hands up at me.
Throw your hands up at me. No, okay. It felt like a sneeze being held in. I just needed to get that off my chest. Go on.
I'm glad you got that out. But, for example, I said, hey, where do I go for my interview? They gave me a building that has multiple locations. I'm going to try to keep it vague because I don't want people freaking stalking me.
Is this Harry Potter? How can a building have multiple locations?
Like, if I was going to say go to work at Wawa, I would need to know which Wawa I was going to work at.
So she didn't tell you about a building. She told you about a business.
Yeah, we'll put it that way. Okay. She was like, you have to go interview at this business.
Go interview at the 7-Eleven. There are 20 in this town. Like, that's...
Yes. So I said, oh, the one by my house, because that was the one the conversation was about other times in the first place. She said, no, not that one.
No, stupid.
I said, okay, so the one down by this street? And she said, I don't know, maybe. I said, okay, because this is the only one I can think of that's around here. She said, yep, that's the one. I said, okay, great. Who do I go talk to there? She said, I'll have to find out for you. Then, after I asked 50 questions because like the interview was all set, and I had to know where I was going, what time I was talking to, she's like, here, Toby, here's this huge document we have prepared of all this information that you've asked us over the past 3 days. But if they have these documents ahead of time, Josh, why not just fucking fill it out the first time I ask a question and say, we'll be sending you a document tomorrow, don't worry about it.
Or even if she doesn't have the answers right now, say, I'll get to that for you, don't worry about it, you'll have it tomorrow. Yeah, at your first question.
Yeah, also, like I'd ask 5 questions instead of 1, because I fucking fish for information. Of something I have absolutely no idea of what I'm doing. That's the part that pisses me off. I told all of them multiple times, like, hey, I've never been recruited before. I don't know the steps from what I have to do for you guys versus where I'm going, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, we know, we'll make it easy for you. We'll help you walk through everything. And by them walking me through things, it's me saying, what do I do now? How do I do this? What do I do for this? Can I do this? What about this?
See,
and they just say, yes, no, yes, yes, no.
I feel like that's an anomaly. Well, first of all, I hate the people, like, you ask a question like, where do I go? And she says, I don't know. And then you're like, is it this one? No. Is it this one? I don't know. It's like, well, you shouldn't have to, like, keep quizzing her about things. Be like, either just, like, give me the answer of where it is or tell me right up front that you don't know and you'll find out. Like, we shouldn't have to go through that whole list, you know?
I'll accept either or. But if you're going to respond to me in 4 hours with vague non-answers, have an answer by then. Don't just snap judgment, read my email, and go, nope. Oh, wait, yeah, okay.
That's like the waitress coming out and be like, would you like the burger? No? Okay. Would you like the chicken? No? Okay. Would you like the salad? No? Just working their way down.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Hold on a second. I'm not ready for the next question yet. I'll give me a couple hours.
Yeah, could you come back around again? Let's pick up in the menu right where we left off, but like just give me like 4 hours. It'll be fine. It's like that.
Or like today, they'll say, oh, you have to get a bunch of shots. So I call the place I'm supposed to get the shots from, and I say, you know, this recruiting company is going to get shots. Oh, well, all the ones you told me you have to get are on the list of approved ones that I can give you for them. Let me call them, and then I'll call you back later. So then I started getting pissed off again, because I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So I emailed the people, and I was like, there's definitely snark in my emails now. But something along the lines of, yeah, I called the place I was supposed to. They said that they can't do everything that you said I'm supposed to do. I have no idea what's going on right now. What am I supposed to do? The one lady responds back and goes, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? So I email her again, and I say, this is exactly what I mean, and pretty much just repeat myself for the second time, saying, they said they can't give me all the shots that you told me I was supposed to get. What am I supposed to do here? But if they know, if they're working with all these other companies, and they all know, like, this is the required list of things to do, why the fuck can't they make the appointment for me? That's the only part I don't understand.
I mean, to go get your own shots? Like, I mean...
They have to make my fucking piss test for me and my blood test and everything else.
I mean, what are you, like 12? Like, what? You can't... I mean, listen.
Either let me do everything or not let me do anything.
Okay, yeah.
But it's a bitch when I go to a place and say, this is what I'm supposed to do, and they go, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's true.
Because then I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about either.
What about... All right. So, it's weird that, like, the recruiter is involved in the whole... making you go get shots and stuff, because you would think the workplace would be that. You know what I mean?
I guess so, but like no one has any idea.
Yeah, no, it's no one's problem.
There's so much confusion, and the fact that I have most of it concerns me greatly. For the fact that I already gave my other job 2 weeks notice.
Yeah,
like I'm already halfway out the fucking door. I can't backpedal now.
You've already burned bridges.
Like... I don't want to. I think the more important thing is I don't want to. I could tell work like, hey, I'm gonna work another week because I'm not ready yet. But that seems fucking stupid to me. I shouldn't have to fucking keep fluctuating my schedule. Well, maybe I'm leaving this week. Maybe I'm not.
So like you're not working it where you get like a week off between jobs?
I'm going to have a week off because there's no way in hell I'm going to be done with all these tests by the time my job comes around.
So that's the secret truth about adult life that's really the only free, beautiful weeks you ever get to yourselves are like it's like the week you take between jobs, and you only get like 3 or 4 in your lifetime. Yeah, that's
at first
that's a sad truth.
At first, I thought I wasn't gonna have one because they were like, oh, we'll tell you when they give you 2 weeks, so there's no gap in your workflow.
F that.
And I was like, fuck.
See, that was a sad thing. Like between my old job and my current job. When I actually got the, like, hey, we're going to hire you thing, they wanted me to start, like, the next week. So I pushed that back, like, a week just so I could go find an apartment and move to the city and stuff. But still, I didn't get really, like, any break between, like, old stuff, doing that, and then new stuff. So it would have been nice to be like, I'm sitting here in my new apartment, I get to play video games for an entire week long, and then I start a new job.
That's what I'm kind of looking forward to for my week plus that I'm going to have off for no reason.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
My only fear is I know I have a paycheck coming to me after I'm done, and I know I have...
They pay you out for your benefits, right? Your days off and stuff.
Yeah. So I pretty much have 2 paychecks coming to me at the same time.
Yeah, you're good.
I just don't want to have to worry about, like, where's the next paycheck coming from?
Well, true. I guess that's true. So I will tell you, when I got recruited, when I went through my recruiter... I didn't have any of these experiences. It was almost too structured, where it was like she was trying to like rush me through things and usher me through the entire process, where at one point I had to tell her, like, just chill out for a minute. Like, just give me a day.
Well, they're pretty much trying to rush me through with no information.
Well, mine was very information filled, I feel like.
Yeah, I wish I was. Yeah. Especially if someone needs to know things. That's why I ask her 1,000 fucking questions. I would think she would realize, hey, this guy needs to know what's going on. And not just go, oh, wait.
hey, this guy has weird social anxiety about not knowing things. I think that's probably what they figured out very early on for me. It was like, it's really weird. He asked what color the walls were in the room he was interviewing in. I don't know what that had to do with anything, but...
Did you really?
No, but that's something I would do.
I was going to say, Jesus Christ.
I could totally see myself being like, I just need to visualize it. If I could just picture it in my head better.
I need to know what contrasting color to wear in my tie. Can you please tell me what shade of blue the room is going to be?
When I would have to give like presentations and stuff, like when I would go to like a conference or whatever, it would always help like my nerves when I could see the room. Like if I would go in and like check out the conference hall first, so I could like visualize it in my head. That would always like, that's the weird neuroses that I have. So
it'll happen.
You know what? I own it. I'm weird. I'm a weird person.
Yeah. But so in summation,
that's not a word. But go on.
In finality of this conversation, I'm trying not to get pissed off at the place I'm going to work because of the recruiter. Like I keep telling myself, this isn't how work's going to be. I don't really have to deal with these people soon afterwards. Yeah, just fucking ride it out.
You'll never hear from these people again.
I can only hope not.
I mean, like it'll be like a year later, and you'll get like a thank you note that said like, "Congratulations on your 1-year anniversary," and that'll be like the next time you interact with them.
Thank God. So, Josh, this weekend,
yes,
me and one of my friends were loud enough in his garage that his wife, sleeping all the way across the house, woke up and thought there was a party inside the garage.
Well, it sounds like there was.
It was a 2-person party.
Yeah. It's the best kinds of parties.
Have you ever been so loud at anything where people thought you were a group of people? Because I was pumped. I took it as a compliment, but she didn't seem very happy.
Were you like attempting to sound like multiple people? Like were you like pitching your voice up and then talking really low, like anything like that?
No, we were watching the Florida State Notre Dame football game.
Oh, so
which ran from 8:30 p.m. until 12:30 p.m.
That is a long,
or 12:30 a.m.
That is a long sports game.
4 hours, Josh. That's 4 hours after a day of drinking and playing soccer with my friend's kid and all sorts of other shit.
That's longer than WrestleMania.
It is.
To put
the last
in something
15
I understand.
Minutes,
yes.
That's fine. The last 15 minutes were action-packed.
I bet.
And all sorts of bullshit happened, so we were screaming at the top of our lungs in the garage.
Here's what I don't get about sports, just to pull this back a little bit. You spent 4 hours watching this game, right? Yeah. And it's not scripted. The outcome is not predetermined with sports.
Does this break it for you already? That you can't find the dirt sheets and say, oh, Notre Dame's going to win by 3 today. I don't have to watch the game now.
Kind of. But, like, what I'm saying is, no one sat backstage and designed that game to make it interesting for you. So it could have been a complete blowout. You could have wasted 4 hours of your life, and it could have been like, wow, Notre Dame won by 14, whatever score points. Is that a lot? What's like 14 touchdowns? How about that?
Okay.
Because that's like 2 touchdowns, right?
You realize people script your fucking 3-hour wrestling show and you get pissed off and turn it off all the time, right?
No, but at least I know how long it's gonna last going in, and at least I know that like
that's not true.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, of course I know how long it's gonna be going in. They only have so much time. It's a 3-hour show.
Okay, well, college football's a 4-hour sport, but it doesn't mean it's gonna last all 4 hours. Just like wrestling doesn't last all 3, Josh.
It does. What? Yeah, it always.
No, it doesn't. The pay-per-views end early all the time.
Like 10 minutes, maybe.
Okay, so that's still 10 minutes?
Sure, that.
So your perfectly scripted life ended 10 minutes early, so you don't know specifically how long it's going to be. Sometimes it's ended sooner when ship breaks.
Okay,
or Montreal Screwjobs.
Let's leave behind the ending early part, and let's focus on that wrestling program is... It might not always succeed, but at least it's designed to be close and have, like, you know, crazy close calls and be exciting. Where, like, a wrestling or a football game, like, if it's going really well, if it's going like the one team plans it, it's not exciting. Like,
Josh, if you were... I don't know what the fuck you even do. If you were doing something, you just kept doing it better and better, wouldn't you be excited?
I would, but, like, if someone was watching me do it...
So if I was into the game and I was like, oh shit, they're up by 40 points now. Oh shit, they're up by 60 now. You would get pumped and say, I wonder how much they're going to win by.
Really? That's really what...
You would get this is why alcohol is involved too. I mean, I know you don't understand that part of it.
So you just like get super trashed so you don't care that what you're watching is super boring?
No, but it's not boring.
But that's what you just said was that it was boring.
It just helps. You don't care as much. If it was boring, you wouldn't care as much.
So you were drunk, which is why you sounded like a whole party of people.
We were also fired up. There was Notre Dame should have won the game.
Yeah.
But there was a bullshit call right at the end of the fucking game. I think the touchdown got taken away, and I screamed at the top of my lungs, "It's bullshit!" And then my friend's wife got mad.
Are you one of those people that uses the term "we" to refer to the team?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I was like,
before you even asked, I knew.
They really screwed us. Like, what? No, you're not involved.
I know better than that.
Good. I'm glad.
I just get fired up because I get into it.
I can get behind all the rest of your sports gaming, but if you include yourself on the team when you reference the team, I can never support that. That is the dumbest thing.
Speaking of teams, Josh, old work. There's big union drama right now. They're trying to get a union in there.
Okay. Yeah.
People don't like jokes about that shit.
Really?
Yeah. Some people parked across the street from where I work, parked their truck, blew up an inflatable cat with a worker in its hand. Like 40, 50 foot inflatable cat with a worker in its hand.
All right.
And for whatever reason, I was outside just like telling people that were like looking at this shit like, why is there an inflatable cow outside? And people get really mad.
But like, I don't get how that has anything to do with the union.
Because the fat cat's, Josh, holding down the workers, something.
Oh, it has to do with fat cats?
Apparently. I said it was a cow because it was funnier to me.
Okay.
And people were not amused.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've never heard someone use the term fat cat unironically. So this is all new to me. It's kind of exciting.
Fat cats in Washington.
Yeah, I've never heard someone say the fat cats in Washington and not be making fun of people that would say that unironically. I've only ever heard the ironic portion of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So people that are unionizing don't take kindly to jokes about unions, I guess.
I don't like anyone on either side of that issue. Is that weird? Like, do you ever take the non-stance on an issue so much that you hate anyone who has a stance on it?
I'm sure I have.
Okay, because that's me with people that are really for and really against unions. It's just like, who cares?
all I know is it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
And the people that will affect, I don't think they realize that it might have more negative repercussions than positive ones.
Sure.
So I just let it go.
Yeah.
And the other thing I said too was the boss of my company, or the owner of my company, like the place I work at now, the dude's a smart motherfucker. There's no way that even if like the union vote passes, that he's going to let them fuck his company over somehow. Like he will find some way because they have to agree. I guess the way it works is you have a vote first, if they vote to have a union, then they have to go through, they write up a contract together, like the company / the union.
Yeah.
And it has to be ratified and shit. Like the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah. So
this dude, there's no way in hell this dude's going to sign a piece of paper that says, like, sure, fuck me over and my company. Like, he's going to make sure that if he's signing something, he's not losing.
So who rides through the warehouse on a horse yelling, "The bosses are coming, the bosses are coming"?
I will.
Okay, great. That's perfect.
I have, as of recording, I have 7 days left. I will be sure to do such things.
Great, this is amazing. There's an episode, so my only experience with unions is the episode of The Office where Michael goes to hang out with the guys out in the warehouse, and they start talking about, forming one, and then he's like, yeah, I guess that's an idea, and then he goes and tells Jan's like, they're trying to make a union, and then she comes down and yells at them all and says, if corporate gets word of this, we're going to fire you all, which...
Yeah, because that's what happens. Or it's a weird mix of that with other things. But yeah, so apparently unions are no joke. Keep that in mind.
And also not having unions are no joke. Yeah. There are no jokes. There are no jokes involved.
There are no jokes anymore. No. There's nothing funny about the world.
Jokes are dead.
But the other good part about the union was all the fancy people at work, all the higher-ups, still wore their dress clothes, but put bright orange, reflective, no means no t-shirts on top of it, because you have to have pride in your company and not want a union. So it looks ridiculous of a fucking, probably $100 shirt on with a fucking bright orange neon t-shirt on top of it.
And it says no means no? That's their...
Yeah, of all the slang and sentences and phrases to use for something, I'm pretty sure no means no ranks right up there with, my body, my choice.
Yeah.
Of things you shouldn't apply to things that don't involve women and or sexual relations with those women.
That's like the slogan just says, company, don't fuck us.
I could accept that.
Yeah.
If it said, the union's gonna fuck you, I could get behind that. I would laugh at that shirt, and I would have worn one, because I could have worn a shirt that said fuck it where.
Unions, #rape culture.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, so there's no real point to the union story, other than, I don't know, it's all happening after I leave, so I don't really care.
Other than now you're just poking the bear just for fun.
Yeah. And the other thing I thought of too, Josh, I'm going to miss all the bathroom escapades.
Yeah, I'm going to
I heard
as well.
someone rapping today.
What?
When I was pooping.
In the bathroom?
It was freestyling or something, in the stall next to me. He might have had headphones in, might have been singing a song, might have been freestyling, but there was rap going on. And the toilet paper dispenser next to me says "turn down for what" on it now.
That's the best thing to put on toilet paper, man. Turn down for what?
Yeah, so these escapades are all going to be gone now. So I can only hope there's new nonsense in my more grown-up position that I'm going to.
Oh, man, I don't think you get much more nonsense than that. That might be the pinnacle. That's great.
Josh, this is a news / real life story for you.
Okay.
Of all the things that you should do when you're talking to your boss, what is the last thing you should tell him? What's the last thing you think you should say to your boss?
Just in the history of things to say, anything goes. What's the last thing I should say?
The last thing you should possibly ever say to someone, the worst idea ever to say to your boss. What would it be?
So I met your daughter last night.
She's a dirty whore.
Well, we didn't talk much, but I probably something like that involving their daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll say this is close enough.
Okay.
Josh, there's a PC game that came out. It was an impossibly fast first-person shooter roguelike named Paranautical Activity.
Okay.
This developer, Mike Malbec, got mad because Steam put it up as early access when they released it, even though it's not early access anymore. He went off and called Steam the most incompetent piece of fucking shit ever. You started freaking out, screaming at him. He also, he said, "I'm going to kill Gabe Newell. He is going to die." Steam apparently got mad.
No.
Or Valve. And pulled the game down. And now he's upset that the game got pulled down.
Now he's really going to kill Gabe.
But yeah, even if you're mad, the last thing you should ever tell anybody, especially in the current times, the current climate of the world, "I'm going to fucking kill you."
Yeah, you don't say, because you know what? The world doesn't have a sense of humor anymore about that. So if you had said, there's a bomb at Valve headquarters, that would be bad. And you can't say, I'm going to kill Gabe Newell. Neither of those things are allowed anymore.
Yeah, but, like, how fucking stupid can you be? That really seems like one of the dumbest things ever. Unless the dude's, like, one of those fucking 16-year-old assholes that, like, go with the anonymity thing and don't care. Like, oh, he's a fat piece of shit, I'm gonna fucking stab him. Like, that's one thing. But, like, being a grown adult when, like, you're using this guy's service...
Well, being a grown adult, using this guy's service, you're not only a grown adult, you're like a business entity. You're trying to get people to buy your product because, like, you're the public face of it. Maybe don't threaten to kill people. Like, just maybe. I don't know.
There might be some backlash. Maybe just take a deep breath that first day and say, it says early access, I'm losing money. Maybe if I emailed them real quick and said, hey, guys.
Them. Yeah.
Hey, maybe not threatening personal violence.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You might think that sounds pretty metal, but, like, for the most part, it's not. Like, you sound like you're from 4chan, and
pretty much like that's.
Yeah. At least they would be more clever about it. Like, they wouldn't kill him. They would just, like, ship dildos to his house or something. But
and like packs of threes or something.
Yeah,
there would be a deep down, deep-seated humor. Yeah, deep-seated humor in whatever prank they did to fuck with him.
I'm gonna stab him 333 times.
Yeah. It wouldn't be I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Tell me, of all the people that you could threaten to kill, Gabe was probably the last one you should threaten, because I've seen pictures of him with just knives, just lots of knives. He collects knives.
So you think he'd stab back?
I mean, if I'm picking someone to stab, I'm not picking a knife collector. That's for sure. Right?
I mean, that seems like it would just even it right back out. You'd be right back at, like, face-to-face. It wouldn't even be, like, an advantage. Like, I'm bringing a knife. I can beat this motherfucker because I have a knife. You'd just be, like, face-to-face done for.
Yeah, sounds bad. Well, and also, if he collects them, he probably's better at knives than me. I mean,
I don't know about that.
I mean, he seems like a dude who plays with his knives.
You collect comic books. You're not better at being a superhero than
But I'm better at comic books than you.
You're probably not.
If you handed each other comic books and said kill the other person with them, I'd probably be better at it.
You don't have that street smart.
I got the hand feel for it that you don't, though. I know exactly how much a comic book weighs. Like
how much?
I mean, like in my mind, in my hand, like I don't have a number for you.
No, you know what? It does. All right.
I know how much like bend I can put on the paper before it actually like gives. Like I could hurt you more with a comic book than you could hurt me.
How much does a comic book weigh?
I don't know, Toby. You always.
Well, what the fuck? You just said you knew how much it weighed.
But like, I mean, if you handed me a comic book and then something else of equal size and shape, but it was a different weight, I could tell you which one was the comic book. With
Josh,
my eyes closed.
What is an N?
N?
In the way like when they're weighing things.
Nanometers. Nanobots.
What's an N? What's 1.1 N's?
Pounds.
Okay. Well, comic book's 112 grams.
Great. Does that number mean anything to you?
No.
I don't know. All right, here's something about me. I don't know anything about units of measure. Mm-hmm. Like, if you said that's about 6 inches, I mean, maybe I have a rough estimate of what like that is, or like
yeah, it's like that's like twice the size.
Yeah, I knew that's where this was going. But especially when we get in like measurements of volume, like I can't tell you like how many ounces are in a gallon or how many like
64.
See, I did whatever. Yeah, I couldn't tell you like how many cups are in like something else. I can't even come up with any other measurements.
The struggle is real.
Exactly.
I don't know how many cups are in one of those things. Yeah, I just don't know.
Something larger or smaller than a cup. I don't know.
That's just how complicated it is for me. I just don't know.
Here's what I know. I know those coffee cups that are way too small and styrofoam, those are 8 ounces. I know that. The ones that you look at and are like, I'm going to need like 3 of those.
I'm going to need way more coffee than this.
I drink coffee now, Toby. Side note about coffee. My daily driver coffee mug, it is a giant mug that is Santa, his lower half, and it says ho 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 on it. I drink out of that every day at work.
I have a coffee mug that's large, like the ones like oversized ones, that my friend bought for me. I think it was for Christmas. It says, "This is my giant cup of my job fucking sucks," and it says fucking pretty big on it. So I never actually took it to work.
Smart.
And I always thought about it. And now that I'm on borrowed time,
bring it in
maybe just the last day, just walk around just sipping coffee at people's desks all day.
How you doing? Yeah. Just hold it over like the cue ball. Like, yep.
Gosh, some good coffee. Yep, this job does fucking suck.
Yeah, this is my last day, coincidentally.
The other part of that, Josh, we're still in top secret lockdown. It's like double secret probation.
Yeah.
Where no one knows I'm leaving.
Wait, you haven't told anyone?
I told...
Because you gave your 2 weeks notice.
Yeah. So, HR and my actual boss know I'm leaving. No one else does.
What's the reasoning behind that?
They said I was allowed to pick if I wanted everyone to know or not. And I decided that I just want to go out without having it to be like a big fucking thing.
Yeah, you just want to slip out into the night?
Yeah, because at my last job, it was... when I left, there was a bunch of people I wrote a nice email to, like, thanks for keeping me sane here. I appreciate it. Here's my email if you want to keep in touch, blah, blah, blah. And everyone was like, oh, we're going to miss you, and all this other bullshit. And I thought that, like, maybe in retail world, or like, real life world, it'd be different than retail world. Like, retail friends are always bullshit. But I was like, I've worked with these people literally 8 hours a day for the past 2 years. Maybe when they say, like, oh, we'll keep in touch, I'll miss talking to you, maybe they meant it. But none of them meant it, Josh.
No, of course not, no.
None of them meant it. So rather than go through that bullshit this time, I'm just going to fucking go out in the night like a thief.
Yeah. I like that idea. I'm on board with that.
Good. Because the way I want it to go down is, the Monday after I'm gone, I want people to start trying to get a hold of me and not be able to get a hold of me at all, and eventually just realize I'm not there anymore.
This is like some weird messed up thing where you're teaching them a lesson. Like, you should have appreciated Toby when you had him.
Well, exactly. They should have, those motherfuckers. But I'm just gonna sneak out like a thief. And what I really want, I think, is for people to go, how long hasn't he worked here?
You want to think it's just been months?
Yeah. I want to plant that seed of doubt of like, I haven't seen him for at least a month. Has he not even been here the past month?
Here's what you do. You tell whoever is still there in your department, tell them to tell everyone else that it's been like 2 months since you left. Then the people that had talked to you in those 2 months be like, wait, didn't I just email him? And like get really weirded out by it. Yeah. Like some like Ouija board situation going on. That's what I want. Like they talk to the ghost of Toby's email account.
Oh, he's just working from home. He's working from his new job.
He's doubling up. When I used to go on vacation, like when I would leave like school for a couple days or like leave, college or whatever, I always did the not tell anyone I was going to be gone, just so people would be like, where are you at? And like I always wanted that as well. Maybe that's a weird thing about us.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, just want like that desire to just slip away without anyone knowing.
I want to be like the fan of the opera. I want them to think like there's a possibility I might just like show up in the middle of the day and just disappear again.
Does that sum up the Phantom of the Opera for you? Just a guy who just pops in.
I'll wear half a mask. People maybe won't know it's me.
But he just shows back up to his real job. Oh, so are we getting this opera underway or what's going on? I'm a phantom.
To the Batcave. Josh, have you ever heard of a little artist named Taylor Swift?
Have I? I hate Taylor Swift more than life itself, Toby.
So you don't want to shake it off, is what you're saying.
That's her new song, right?
Yeah.
That's about dicks.
Shake, 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 shake. That's
about after you pee, right?
Yeah. You can do it like more than 3 times you're playing with yourself.
Yeah.
I learned that from Good Charlotte. Punk knows what's up.
Yeah, that's true. That isn't that Good Charlotte song. And it's also now in the Taylor Swift song. It sounds more like masturbation, though, with her. You gotta shake it off, you know what I'm saying? Shake it off. Just shake it off. Shake it off.
So,
rub it out.
She started leaking.
Did she? Because so did I.
She started leaking tracks on iTunes. Ugh. Where like the whole CD isn't out yet.
How do you leak a track on iTunes?
What?
How do you leak something onto iTunes? That's just called releasing.
But the whole CD didn't come out yet.
Yeah, but that's called like releasing a single.
Nah, it's called leaking a song.
Leaking. And no, leaking would be like if she put it on the Pirate Bay as a JPEG image and you had to run it through a spectral scope or something. Like, that's a leak.
Nah.
A leak is when the dude at the CD factory steals one and then puts it online. That's a leak.
No one does that either.
People do that.
What?
I know some people.
CD
I got some
factory?
CD guys.
The CD factory?
Yeah, CD factories. Or like the MP3 plant. What do you want? All right, she's leaking songs.
So, the other day, she put up a song that just says it was called Track 3.
She's just calling them tracks, like...
No, it gets better.
I hate her.
It was 9 seconds long.
Yeah.
It was on iTunes for $1.29.
Oh,
enough people bought it at $1.29 to make it the #1 song on Canada's iTunes charts.
I imagine that
it gets better. It gets better.
All right.
This 9-second song, Josh.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Was just a white noise because someone accidentally posted a song without actually having the song file there. So she has a 9-second white noise song that was leaked that became the #1 single on Canada's iTunes charts for $1.29 a purchase.
Holy crap. That is the most beautiful metaphor for pop music I've ever heard. Is it not? just like mob mentality, the shortening and crappening of pop, the like frivolity of our consumerism. It's all summed up in a beautiful little package there for you.
I don't know if there's an easier way to fall ass backwards in the money.
There's not. No. Here's the step-by-step guide to becoming Taylor Swift. 1, be a very attractive young female. 2, date a shit ton of dudes. 3, write a bunch of shitty-ass songs about it. And 4, release a white noise track on iTunes. Like, that's all. That's really all you have to do.
We gotta get on this.
Yeah. We're lacking a little bit in step 1. But if we could find an attractive female that doesn't know her own worth, and we could like become her managers
and just write her songs to perform,
et
cetera, et cetera.
So you know that you and I are ready to ride any coattail that presents itself.
I would ride anything possible to the top.
Yeah,
you just show me where the ride starts.
Come what may. That's insane. I can't get over this. Taylor Swift is the worst person. By the way, I just can't. I can't let this go. She was in a Rolling Stones interview recently, big cover story about her, and I read it, and I've never wanted to punch someone more in my life. Like, she's the type of girl who goes like, "Oh, I'm so random." Like, she's that person.
She gave up on dating guys.
Good. That's great. Good for
but it doesn't mean she's a lesbian now either. She just gave up on dating guys because she's tired of everyone always saying that she just writes songs about her ex-boyfriends. So she said, I'm not dating guys anymore.
I dislike her so much that I don't even want her to become a lesbian. Like, that's big for me. There's not a different girl that I like less enough that I wouldn't want to see her making out with a different girl. Not a single other girl in the world.
We're learning a lot about Josh tonight. So, Josh, I'm going to teach you some college, I think it was biology, some lessons I learned.
I guarantee you do not know anything about college biology.
Trust me. When you hear the 2 takeaways I remember from it, you'll know why I remember.
I was going to say, I know what kind of a student you are.
So, there was an article today that I guess the FTC is cracking down, where if you can't prove your shopping bags are biodegradable, you're no longer allowed to say biodegradable.
Well, that seems reasonable to me. You can't lie about things, guys. Come on.
Just don't lie as much.
Yeah. Please cut down on the lying. Like
everyone lies. Just make it just a little bit softer, so people don't ask us questions about it. Because if they start asking us questions, we're gonna start asking you questions, and this is when the problems really start.
Like, oh my god, just this one thing. Just give us bags. Don't lie about bags. That's it. That's all we want.
So when I was in college, and I was taking we'll call it the intro biology class for one of my science credits. I had this old guy as a teacher. Pretty nice dude, didn't mean anybody any harm. But there was 2 huge life lessons I took away from this class.
Okay.
The one day we're talking about plants. The dude writes down on the board, plants need sunlight to live.
It's accurate. That's a true statement.
It is. And you know what, Josh? And at 20 years old, I'm glad I finally learned that life lesson. I'm glad that my college tuition was going towards me learning plants need sunlight to live.
Well, here's another fun fact. I think pretty much everything that's alive on the planet needs sunlight to live. There's not much. Like, there's probably a few things, but But I would say 99% of things that's true about.
Yeah.
Unless we're talking like some creature underneath the, bottom of the ocean and stuff.
Yeah, like the fish that live down there, they strive on darkness.
We wouldn't have an ocean if we didn't have the sun. So technically, they need the sun to live as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have the facts to prove that one or the other.
You don't know enough to prove me wrong, but maybe it doesn't sound right.
So I was glad I picked that one up. And the second part, which is actually what reminded me of all this, he used to carry around a plastic bag in his briefcase.
All right.
So plastic bag, as you know, sits in the darkness the whole time. If it's in a different container, it's probably in the dark, such as a briefcase. There's no light inside his briefcase.
I mean, yes, there's no light inside his briefcase.
Nor is there sunlight inside his briefcase.
No. Confirmed. No sunlight in a briefcase.
So, he walked around with this plastic bag for, he said 10 years at that point, and said, this bag says biodegradable, but it's never broken down. And I carry this bag around to all my classes and always show everybody. So I just want to show, that they're not always true with what they say about the biodegradable stuff. And with the plastic, you never really know.
This guy sounds like the dumbest person.
Right. Like, of course it's not going to biodegrade. You're keeping it in a fucking controlled environment of darkness. Yeah. There's no moisture in your fucking briefcase. There's no sun in there. There's nothing to break it down.
It's not in the bio. There needs some bio elements to be biodegradable.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so the biodegradable backstory today made me think of pretty much 10 years ago at this point in college when I learned all these hard-hitting life lessons in biology.
Also, a side note, when they say biodegradable, don't they mean like over the course of like 30 years? Like, it's not 10. It's way longer than 10, right?
Well, I know that different materials have different breakdown times.
Sure.
I don't know what plastics is. I'm sure it's long. I know styrofoam is long as fuck. But I don't know. But the fact is, if I want it to like disappear, I'm going to put it outside.
Yeah,
or like
sure.
Plant it in the ground and not just hold it in my pocket and go, still in my pocket, guys.
Also, I'm not super upset about a plastic bag not completely disappearing in 10 years. I feel like 10 years is a reasonable amount of time to want a plastic bag still doing its job, right? Like, I could put something in a bag and then put it away. If I get that stuff out in 10 years and it's just everything's loose everywhere, I'm like, where'd the bag go? That's kind of upsetting. Right?
Yeah. Nature's a fickle beast.
Apparently.
I don't know the way half the things work. But I don't know if I'm going to learn either, to be honest with you. If I can't have it broken down to its core tenets, like we need sun, I really can't behind these things.
And let's be honest, I mean, at this point, if you don't know it now, you're not going to learn it.
Here's another biodegradable fact for you.
Bring it.
Or you help me sound this out. Because I didn't think I sounded like that much of an asshole the other day when I mentioned it on Reddit. But as you know, Reddit's a very fickle bitch as well.
If you're mentioning things on Reddit, you're by default an asshole. But go on.
Okay. So, there was a conversation, or a thread, or the fuck Reddit's topic things are called.
Yeah.
A new text post.
Great. You sound like even more of an asshole now.
Well, they were saying about how, like, cigarette filters don't break down properly.
Okay.
Okay? Uh-huh. So, as part of my new job, I had to stop smoking. And not that I did it a lot, but I did it enough. So, I had to stop. And their thing was, no one ever gets in trouble for littering cigarette butts, which is true. Like, everyone throws them out the fucking car window, throws them in the grass, throws them on the ground. No one ever really says anything about it.
Yeah, and that's bogus, but go on.
Right. So, as a joke, someone made a comment like that, and I said, honestly, I would have never thought they weren't biodegradable and couldn't break down, because it's pretty much like paper and a filter. And while I don't know what the filter's made out of, I wouldn't think it wasn't break down, or wasn't some sort of fabric or cloth.
Yeah.
So, this other guy decides that it's time to yell at me.
Sure.
And say, you're just a lazy fucking asshole. He's like, just admit that you're just lazy and you're throwing on the ground.
I mean, admit it.
Well, no. So, my response back to him, Josh, was, I didn't say I was in the right when I was doing these things. I said, however, I've seen birds make nests out of worse. I also said, I have no idea what the fuck's inside the filter. It could be unicorn horn for all I know.
Unicorn.
Unicorn horn.
Unicorn. I feel like we can merge those words.
Okay.
I'll workshop it.
Yeah, but why would any person think that something that seems like it's made out of like cotton and paper not be biodegradable?
I mean, I would have thought that they would be, but I still think you're a jerk for throwing them out on the ground.
No, I haven't smoked for a week, Josh, so I can take the hard stance with everybody else now.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
I can turn on my ex friends.
Your ex,
you fucking bunch of dirty scumbags!
How dare you throw that out your car window? Do you know that that's not biodegradable? Clearly, this issue of our show is teaching me that we need to learn about the word biodegradable, because you and I know nothing. Is what I found out.
I need to learn more about the world, I think.
No, listen, that's a tall order, and I'm not prepared for it. I'm going to start with biodegradable.
Josh, every week we like when the people ask us questions. They can write in a cast at geek-pop.com and, ask us for some life tips, comment on the things we talked about. If you know anything about the word biodegradable, Josh and I are open ears right now.
Yeah, I'm receptive to learning. Just about this, though. Don't teach me anything else, you jerks.
I don't want to fucking learn about, we talked about unions a little bit tonight. Yeah. I don't care about that. I don't care about plastic bags unless they're biodegrading in the atmosphere.
I don't want a broader worldview, just this one thing. I want to stay close-minded, but I want to know more about biodegrading.
I am laser focused on biodegrading right now.
It's really the only thing I'm concerned with.
Josh, this week our question comes from our good friend Dylan.
Hello, Dylan.
He wants to know how you would go about meeting new people and making new friends. Meeting people online counts too, because he finds himself to be too much of a wuss to go up and talk to people, even if he knows them by reputation and or that they're a nice person.
Well, you came to the right place, because all of my best friends...
Because Josh is afraid of everything.
Well, that too. Well, I was going to say, all my best friends are online, not in person. I had someone ask me, last week, I was hanging out with them, and they're like, so what do you do for fun? And where do you go for fun? That was the question. Where do you go for fun? I was like, I kind of hang out online. I didn't know how to answer that question. I was like, well, I guess I just sit in my apartment a lot, but other people are involved. I don't know. But if you want to meet people in person, I don't know.
Do not talk to Josh.
What's that?
I said, do not talk to Josh. Go stand in an elevator.
Yeah. Go try to strike up a conversation, but only in elevators. I've heard people go do meetup.com and stuff like that. Find something that they're interested in and go to a meetup, but that sounds really scary to me.
Yeah, but why?
Why does it sound scary, or why would you do it?
Scary. Why is it scary?
Because you're showing up at a thing that a bunch of other people are already established at. They already have a group, they already have a rapport with each other, and you're just inserting yourself in this thing that you know nothing about. And that sounds kind of terrifying.
I think maybe not for you. I'm speaking to the listening audience.
Yeah.
Now. I think as you get older, it becomes less of a thing.
To go to meetup.com events, or just to insert yourself?
To insert yourself. Okay. The other night I went to fucking Walmart to buy things for upcoming videos on the YouTube channel.
Uh-huh. So,
for example,
lots of lingerie. Yeah.
Lots of lingerie. But I was in a really shitty mood, and I forget why it was, or something was going on. I was in a really bad mood. So I was standing in line, and the cashier dude seemed bored. So I was just like, hey man, how's your night going? And he was like, pretty good, how's yours? And I said, oh, no complaints really. Because even though I did have complaints, I was like, fuck it, I might as well go for it. So I think he asked me about all my frozen pizzas I was buying and the random shit I was buying. And then a lady came up behind me in line and put her stuff down. And he was like, is this yours too? And I was like, no, it's hers, haha. And he looks at the girl and was like, man, you should have just said it was yours with his real quick. He would have bought it for you. So I looked at her and I was like, yeah, you missed a great opportunity. You could have some free food. So we all start joking around together.
I mean, that's one. I've done that. I do that. That's not scary. It's the.
So I think you have to start from there and extrapolate out. Once you realize that people are just people and no one really cares, it just gets easier.
But here's how you make friends. You were nice to that guy. You guys had a little moment, I guess. I don't know. But now you're not friends with him. He's not your friend. You were just nice to him once, and you might see him again there. But for the most part, that was your one interaction, and you're not just gonna hang out with that dude now, right?
No.
So that's just being friendly with people, but that doesn't make you friends.
But you just start there. If it was a different situation, I would have walked up to people.
But that doesn't, you could have 100 of those situations a day. You could be super outgoing in any situation that you're in. but you wouldn't have more friends with that. Like in order to make a friend, you have to have like repeated instances of that. That's why it's hard to make friends when you're an adult, because you're not going to class, you're not constantly thrown in with a bunch of people your age, you know?
That's why you're quote unquote friends with your coworkers, and it all goes downhill from there.
Exactly. Like like the question then is like, as you get older, like how do you recreate like what you were doing in college, where it's like, I went to whatever club and we're all hanging out.
Go back to college.
That's the only solution, really. Yeah.
Or meetup.com, apparently.
Meetup.com, I think, is the recreation of college. But then, like, everyone's, like, already in a group. That's like you walking up and sitting at, like, the D&D kids table at school, and they all look at you weird. Notice I didn't even go for the popular kids table, because that is out of the question. I went for the nerd table.
I would never be over there. I don't know. I guess because I don't care
to have friends.
No, fucker. I guess I don't care because I don't care about the outcome of things. It's just easier. Like, I talk to random people at bars. I've done that. Usually when, like,
that's
other
fine.
people...
Like, it's the... I showed up here for a purpose that cuts out your ability to bail. You know? That's like, well, why would you leave now? You just got here. Like, if you're just talking to someone in, like...
Because this sucks.
yeah, because then that's even more embarrassing, where it's like, I thought that this would go okay, and you're all terrible people, and I want to get away. Like, that's terrible. That doesn't work. I'm just saying. So I understand.
Have we come to any conclusions or no? I feel like we're both talking about different issues at this point.
Well, I'm talking about my insecurities. Which is funny because, like I said, like, I can meet people online, which is a weird thing. Like, I don't know why I can make friends online, but it's harder in
because
person.
If you get rejected by people online, you don't care.
Yeah, I can slip away to the anonymity that is the internet.
And this message went nowhere. All right, back to the video games.
Time to delete that account. Toby, you can't delete your life account.
Back
to the suicide jokes.
This ties back into about 30 minutes ago. Only you can stop your time from going forward.
That was a clever callback on my part.
But I don't know if I don't know if you got an answer.
Yeah, Dylan. Yeah, try some meetup stuff. Try to find people that are interested in the same thing you're in, and show up there and be brave.
Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. Just whatever Josh has said in the past 17 weeks. Just ignore anything.
Yeah, don't take advice from me.
Consider him the anti-advice, and go from there.
That's a good way to look at it. Take what I do and just do the opposite.
If Josh is like, I don't talk to my barber, you talk to your barber.
I talk to my barber. My barber and I are friends now.
No, they're not, because there's something interaction. You just told me about this.
But that's the repeated, like, incidental, that's the word I'm looking for, interaction, where, like, I go and get my hair cut repeatedly to the same guy. That's that interaction you need over and over again to become, like, you know, friendly, and to become, like, chummy with someone. Like, you need that over and over again, and I have that. Me and my barber are tight. Not like...
Dylan, the answer is go hang out with your fucking barber.
Yeah, get your hair cut more often. But, like find a barber...
You fucking hippie.
Find a barber who seems like a cool guy that you'd want to hang out with, and then, like, get your hair cut, like, every 2 weeks.
Just follow him around. Just be like, hey, cut my hair again. Hey, friend, I like when you touch my head, friend. This feels good.
Listen, I feel like the benefits of stalking are a little underplayed when it comes to making friends. Like, a little stalking goes a long way.
Oh, yeah, because you can know exactly all about the person, and you just go from there.
If you show up at, like, a group gathering with other people, but you've done some research on them ahead of time, and you know, like, that guy's really into, like, Metallica, you can be like, oh my gosh, did you hear Hit the Lights? Like, what a good song. And that guy's like, dude, you like Metallica? And then you're best friends.
How the fuck do you know that song?
I heard it on the radio today. That's why it popped in my head. That was my example.
I was going to say, because you are not...
I'm not what?
You were not the metal one.
Quote unquote the metal one.
Yeah.
So stalk the people that you want to be friends with, and then make it happen. Visualize it and make it happen.
It's called magical thinking. Look it up.
I did that with a girl once, Toby.
You've done it with a ton of girls.
Well, yeah, but I specifically used that exact technique with a girl before, where we had a first date planned. So I looked up what bands that she was into on her Facebook profile, and I brought one of them up that I also liked casually in conversation, just so she would be like, oh my gosh, I love them. The
funny part is, I was actively trying to dodge that because I knew Josh told me that what I thought was in secrecy.
I feel like that's a fair. So, I mean, I'm proud of that. What's wrong with that?
All right, that's all. I just don't let it go. I would have brought it up right away. I know if that was the line I'm not supposed to cross. So I was like, fuck it, let's let this one go.
I mean, I did my. It's called reconnaissance.
Oh my god.
Reconnaissance, Toby.
So if you want to reconnaissance and be friends with people like me and Josh, you can find Josh on Twitter at
GI_Josh.
And you can find me on Twitter at Girls Heart Geeks. And you can start being our friends, you know, creep on what we do. Say, I like wrestling. I like YouTube. I like Twitch. I like eating peanut butter and jelly soda sandwiches.
Really, the quickest way to my heart is telling me that you like the things I do. I'm a big Geek Pop fan. Well, we're the best of friends.
If you tell me that you think I'm funny as fuck, I'll be your best friend forever. I'm just throwing it out there.
Thick as thieves.
And you also can find our podcast, which again is Geek Pop Podcast, on iTunes and Stitcher. If you subscribe to us on either of those sites, you can leave us reviews, comments, all that good shit. We will read them on the show, and it helps us be seen more people. So our line of friends, aka 2, grows into a circle or a triangle. There's a shape that has more than 2 friends. Think about that one until next week. Once again, I'm Toby.
And I'm Josh.
Lates.
One to grow on. What would you guess that NDT is?
What?
NDT.
Spell it.
NDT.
In reference to?
No. It's who else is going to NDT tonight?
Yeah, right. That's what I wanted.
My wife and I are going tonight, and it will be our first night out for a while without kids. This is Indianapolis based. Are there any more tickets? According to the email I got from UIndy last week, all the tickets are gone, but you might check in the sub throughout the day. I have 1 extra ticket. I'll be there, and I'll be there early. I can't wait. The wife and I will be there. In line now. We got here at 4. What the fuck are these morons talking about? What is NDT?
Instituto Nokia de Technology?
Non-destructive testing. I don't know, man. This is blowing my mind.
Is it today?
Yeah, it's today. It's happening right now. They're in line.
This isn't a real thing.
I don't know, man.
No, if you Google, like, NDT tickets, this isn't a thing.
I know. What could it be short for? Ooh. Wait, I have 1 extra ticket. Oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's what it is.
Okay.
And NDT is what exactly? Question mark. It's a Neil Tyson thing. You wouldn't understand. I didn't know that Neil deGrasse Tyson had been reduced to an acronym. Oh, and don't ask me what an acronym is. You wouldn't understand.
It's not supposed to be in.
What?
I think it's just supposed to be NDT.
NDT.
I think they fucked up.
What? Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
That's what NDT is.
You know, every time I asked you what it was, it sounded like you were saying in, like I-N.
Oh, I was spelling out NDT. In? How do you say in?
You keep doing it!
In.
N! Enunciate, you motherfucker. Stop saying in. In. No.
Wait, in and the letter in are different for you when you say them out loud?
What? Yes.
N?
N.
N.
M-N-O-P.
M-N-O-P.
M. Dude, okay, so I'm glad we're still recording before we end the show. Because this little quip conversation right here is going in. Because I need you to hear how we talk when I play it back.
I hear the difference that I never thought about before. So you say M and N and not in.